and welcome everyone to our special segment of Be Part of the Picture with Accenture. I'm Fran Brooks and I'm an early talent recruitment manager here at Accenture, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by three incredible members of Accenture's leadership team who are here to share the kinds of opportunities and support that make starting a career with Accenture really unique and rewarding. Jess, let's start with you. You joined Accenture as a graduate yourself, and you now lead our technology analyst group across the UK. Can you tell us about some of the industry-leading projects you are working on, either now or recently, and why students should be excited about the type of work they get to contribute to here at Accenture?
For me personally, I've been working on, and I'm also very excited about, the evolution of contact centres, whether that be call centres, chat, how we engage with businesses, and particularly the focus on implementing AI to enhance both that agent experience and the customer experience. I think the use of agentic AI in those contact centres is a use case that all of us as consumers can really see the impact of, and that experience really impacts our daily lives and how we engage with businesses around us. So being part of that fast-moving reinvention is something I'm really working with at the moment, and working with our clients around how they engage with their customers. And I think it's a brilliant opportunity because our Accenture teams are really working alongside, hand in hand with our clients to shape and deliver that new experience. Looking at kind of why you as students should be excited to be joining us. It's such an exciting time to join, given the pace of change that we're seeing across technology, across the full landscape. It's rapid, and our clients, typically very large organizations, need our partnership and work with us to stay ahead of their competitors, to adapt, to adopt. And I think we've seen, in my 10 years, I have seen a huge change across the technology landscape, and I think that change is growing exponentially. So to be entering the workforce now is really a chance to be part of the businesses, the solutions of the future across such a breadth of technology solutions, things that are established, things that are emerging. So I think it's a really exciting time to be joining.
Thanks, Jess. Yeah, pace of change does definitely feel exponential at the moment, especially with AI. So very exciting indeed. So thank you. Helen, you lead Accenture's only UK Advanced Technology Centre, which is based in Newcastle, which presents a really fantastic hub for those who are looking to start a career in technology. Can you tell us about the type of work that's really creating a buzz in Newcastle, and what students joining Accenture can expect in terms of scope, pace, and sort of the variability of the work that they might be doing?
Sure. Yeah. As you say, Fran, Newcastle's really unique. We are the only advanced technology centre in the UK. And being an ATC means that we deliver what we call full-scale technology solutions, predominantly for UK-based clients. That means that we get involved in designing new products and services all the way through to then supporting those services when they're live. We work across a number of very exciting industries, but our work is predominantly for UK government. But that gives a really great opportunity to contribute back to the UK economy in quite a significant way. You know, we keep the country running. We've got about 900 people here in the UK ATC in Newcastle, and joining the ATC will give you the opportunity to work in squads, always with people at very different stages of their Accenture career. So it could be your peers or people that have been here for a while. And we always have local leadership who are here, and they're on hand to provide the support and guidance that you need, allowing you to constantly learn and grow. Our projects are often quite fast paced. We have to respond to client requirements very quickly. You might also get the opportunity to work on some compelling sales propositions to generate new work within your clients. But also, and really importantly, we're always focused on how new technologies can help our clients, but also help us think about how we can deliver more efficiently. And as you said earlier, you know, Gen AI is having quite a big impact and has a very interesting dynamic in public service delivery in particular. It's a really exciting place to be, and in my opinion, a wonderful city to decide to live in.
Thanks, Helen. And I love the reference to squads. That sounds very exciting. And I know actually, yeah, squads at work, but squads outside of work as well, because there's such a big community in Newcastle, isn't there?
Absolutely. You know, we encourage our people to come together as much as possible, But, our entry-level talent are very good at organising themselves in a way that they get to know each other. People can quite often be new to the city. So, anything goes. We have people that go and do park runs on a Saturday together. We quite often set up showcases around our capabilities so people can learn where they can take their careers. We have hackathons and put lots of pizzas on. Anything goes. It's an exciting place to be, and I think it produces a really friendly environment for people to start their careers.
And Antonia, I know you started as a grad too yourself, so it's been wonderful to have you recently appointed to lead the Analyst Consulting Group as such a natural advocate for those in their early careers. So how are Accenture investing in their early talent, and what makes being part of those analyst communities at Accenture such a high value and career launching experience?
Yeah, thanks, Fran. It's been great to get involved with the Analyst Consulting Group, or ACG. You might hear people talk about, together with my colleague Nick Barnett, who's one of the managing directors in our strategy practice. And for us, the ACG is really about 4 things, and helping all of our analyst population in kind of 4 key ways. So firstly, with learning, training, especially in the first part of your career, is obviously a really important thing, and keeping up with the latest trends and new technologies and new possibilities that affect not only the work that we do with our clients, but also how we work ourselves, as Helen talked about too. In the analyst population, we spent over £600,000 last year on training. But it's not just about the money in terms of that investment. It's also investment of time of people from all the breadth of the different parts of our strategy and consulting, Song and Industry X businesses who help participate in that training and so that people can learn from them. And we also have our apprentices who go to University of East London 1 day a week for their degree, which is obviously a really significant learning experience as well. Secondly, though, that learning doesn't only take place in a classroom, it also takes place every day as part of the work that we all do with our clients. So spending time with your clients, with others in your team at all levels, to all learn together and to deliver on whatever the scope is of the project that you're doing, which could be across an enormous range of different types of things in different industries and different types of work in different parts of the business. Thirdly, and I think really importantly, just because you're an analyst or an intern or an apprentice doesn't mean that you can't also teach others. Particularly now with AI, some of our newest people are some of the most fluent and the most capable in spotting the best opportunities for us to use those technologies in how we do our day-to-day work. And in fact, this afternoon, we've had a event for all of the managing directors in strategy and consulting here in London. And it's been brilliant to hear from a number of our consultants and analysts as part of a playground this afternoon on some of the ways that they use agentic AI in some of the tasks that they do, and hearing everyone going like, "Oh, can you tell me how you did that?" So it's really nice to see our early talent really bringing all of those capabilities to the fore and leading the way in that regard. And then finally, growing our community. So our community of analysts here in London, but also in Edinburgh and Manchester, where we also have people based, both in your individual ACG groups, and which are aligned to the different parts of the business, and also as a community as a whole. Because one of the key things that our role in the leadership team is to help people navigate the whole breadth of Accenture, which can feel a little bit daunting at first, and also changes on a regularly frequent basis, to figure out, okay, what are the different parts, what is the pieces that feel the most interesting to me, and what's the path that I want to take. We have people as part of our leadership team in the Analyst Consulting Group from the whole breadth of those different parts of the business, from all the 5 different industries, from all the 7 different practices, from Song and from Industry X. And their role is to help all of our analysts, interns and apprentices build their networks, get to know people in different parts of the business, and navigate that path, finding where they want to go upon getting promoted to consultant.
That's really interesting to hear. And I love the idea of the playground, right? In terms of actually the early talent educating our MDs. And actually, I really hope that I hope that helps sort of dispel that myth that, there is like a big gap between sort of where you are in an organization when you start versus where you could be, because actually there is so much organic, that digital sort of native part of, the people coming in at the bottom of the organization, and they really can be making that change from day one, and do have a lot to bring from that sense. So really interesting. Thank you. So to close, I'd love to hear from each of you. If you could go back to when your career began and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be? I'm going to throw it back to you, Antonia, to kick us off.
So I'm not sure I can be quite so specific as just one, but maybe I'll be a bit sneaky and have three. So I think my first would be curious, read things, learn, read the investor relations section of the client website for wherever you're working first on your project, read the news, be curious, listen to podcasts, figure out what's going on in the world. The second would be proactive, think half a step ahead, what might be the next thing that might come next, what might I do to get ready for that? You won't always be right, and that's also totally okay, but be thinking in that way and help to be prepared. And then the final thing would be to pay attention to the small things as well as the big things. Sometimes we talk about if you were in a shop, would you buy a jacket if I had a button hanging off? Probably not. You'd probably put it back and swap it and take one of the ones from further back on the rail where all the buttons are firmly attached. So whatever it is that you're working on, pay attention to the small things as much as the big things, so that you don't risk them distracting from the value and the quality of what you've put together as a whole.
Thank you. And Jess?
So I think I'm going to build on Antonia's first point of curiosity. And I think this is something that absolutely applies to the start of a career journey, but it applies every day after that as well. And that's really understanding beyond your own role. So by this, I mean, it's not just understanding what do I have to do? It's the why, the how, the when, and what are your team doing around you? I think understanding that context and the broader ambitions of your team not only helps you deliver your own personal outcomes better and more effectively, it helps you communicate with people around you better. And it also helps accelerate your own development, because you're learning not only from your own learnings, but from every other person around you, because you truly understand that context. So I think that curiosity and understanding that picture is really how I've seen people join this organization and really accelerate to really reach that potential as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Jess. And I think it really helps from a purpose led perspective, right? To be able to sort of drive that linkage between sort of what you do on a day-to-day and kind of have that macro impact that as a organization, as a team, you are driving. So, and last but not least, Helen.
Yes, mine would be to be open-minded, particularly about new opportunities. Your Accenture career is not linear. Sometimes unexpected things happen, but quite often they can be the things that, when you don't expect them, can kind of help you learn and grow the most in your career. That's certainly happened to me in my time here. And Accenture itself is an organization that quite often reinvents itself, both for our clients and for how we deliver. So be open to change. As Antonia and Jessa said, be curious, particularly about technology. Take advantage of how that can help you advance your career as well.
Well, this has been so interesting. So just a huge thanks to all of our guests for sharing such inspiring insights. And for those of you that are exploring your next steps, whether you're considering an internship, an apprenticeship, a graduate role, hopefully today's event gives you some real food for thought about how you could be part of the picture with Accenture. We believe, what matters is finding a place where you can grow, be challenged and make an impact. And if that sounds like what you're looking for, Accenture could be a great fit. So take care, good luck with whatever comes next. And now back to the studio.